Now, Victor's repugnance at the dream is then reinforced because he awakens. And whom does he see? He sees his child. I beheld the wretch, the miserable monster, and he uses the word monster here, whom I had created. He held up the curtain of the bed, and his eyes, if eyes they may be called, were fixed on me. His jaws opened, and he muttered some inarticulate sounds while a grin wrinkled his cheeks. He might have spoken, but I did not hear. One hand was stretched out, seemingly to detain me, but I escaped and rushed down the stairs. What does he do? He runs away and leaves his offspring. He rejects his child just because it's ugly. Now, it's not just because it's ugly. It doesn't meet his expectations of what his child, and I am saying child here because Victor created this creature. He is its father. And earlier in the book, he was saying, that these beings would, owe me more gratitude than they would require any father. But now he rejects his child. Unlike his own parents, whom we saw in chapter 1, take responsibility for the creature that heaven had bestowed upon them, Victor doesn't take responsibility. And of course, it wasn't heaven that bestowed it upon him. He bestowed it upon himself. He is a lousy male mother. Unlike Prometheus, who took care of his offspring and even angered Zeus in order to bring them fire and to get them some decent food, Victor bolts and he runs away. He says he passed the night wretchedly. And he goes out walking, and who should he happen to see? Clerval. What a coincidence. Coincidences often happen like this in novels, of course. And Clerval has come to Ingolstadt because his father has finally told him that he can study, and so that is why Clerval is there. Now, this is going to change Clerval's destiny as well. Clerval's doomed. I shouldn't tell you that, but he's doomed. And at this point, Victor falls ill. He says, I was lifeless and did not recover my senses for a long, long time. And who nurses him back to health? Clerval. Now, we have seen other instances, an instance in particular, where Victor's mother nurses Elizabeth back to health, and what happened? She dies. Clerval doesn't die right now, but there's something there. There's a little break in that birth-death thing, and perhaps it is because Clerval is male as opposed to female that he does not die. And so Victor then is sick, as women sometimes are sick after giving birth. Remember, Mary's mother died, and you have Elizabeth's mother dying after giving birth. And so what does Victor do? He too grows ill, but he doesn't die. And he is senseless for a long time. He finally gets better, comes back to himself, and then it's a beautiful world outside, and he seeks then to reintegrate himself into the real world and nature. But what about his child? We don't know.